So, hello everyone, especially the people tuning in later, just fix my mustache. So, just gonna do a quick live stream tonight, maybe hour and a half, see how things go. It's been a pretty good week on my channel in general. Lots of fun videos. Annoyingly, my Call of Duty one got demonetized, seemingly no reason after a review, and if you get a monetized review, it kills the videos for your channel because YouTube won't put ads on it. So the problem is, for me, really, the monetization doesn't really mean much in terms of money. It's mainly about getting promoted in the algorithm, and it can be quite annoying if it's demonetized by review and you have quite a good topic like the Call of Duty one, and then you just get killed basically in terms of the views, but it still did okay. It's 750 views, whatever. Wanted it to do better, but we'll see. We've got quite a few new subs this weekend. I think I got nearly 100 new subs this month, about 50 this weekend, which is pretty good. My video's been doing well on BreadTube, actually, to be honest, because I've been posting it on there. And yeah, this one got about 200 likes, most recent one. Let me just post. Oh, stupid keyboard isn't working on my iPad. Let me just post that I'm streaming on Twitter, and then I'll get into what I want to talk about. But yeah, I probably have to repeat myself a bit when everyone gets in, but I will stream the first debate. I'm not sure about streaming the second one yet, and the first one is on Tuesday night, I think, or Wednesday morning for me. So it's Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders, so that should be good. Let me just put it on Twitter, come and join. Sorry, one more second and I'll be ready. There we go. Ready for everything. And I will get to the comments. Just put on some music for my headphones. Alright, so let's see. So hi everyone, so hi Evan. Will I do a video on Boris Johnson? I might do one about sort of white privilege and Boris Johnson and Donald Trump this week. Because, if you're not a white man who's rich, you are not becoming the Prime Minister of England or the President of the US and acting like them too. Boris Johnson will make a great President of England. He represents, everything that's wrong with England. I mean, or maybe he does represent England, because I'm a bit bitter towards England these days, just because fucking everyone over Brexit, or the English population in terms of region, are pissing me off at the moment. So I'm just trying to work out what's the best. If I go down a bit, there we go, that's better. Or Northern Ireland, yeah, well, messing around with this backstop stuff isn't helping. The sheer hate of Boris might him leave the union. Well, I think the Brexit stuff might actually make Scotland leave the union. Honestly, don't blame them. I'm all for all the countries leaving now. Wales, yeah, they're dicks as well. They all voted Brexit, so they can stay. Not that I give a shit. But yeah, Scotland and Northern Ireland happy to go. The Northern Ireland stuff obviously way more complicated though. There's risks of bad stuff happening with that. But yeah, so on to the title of my video. So I've recently been doing pretty well in terms of YouTube monetizing my videos. So let me get it up for you guys. I'll show you. And I'll show you how inconsistent the fucking review process is, right? So yeah, I say my Call of Duty video, spent a lot of time on it. Seems pretty fine. It said it was monetized when I uploaded it, and I thought, oh great, it's just a video game video talking about politics. It's not going to be demonetized. So I'll flip this around. All right, so I better take my cover off because it blurs the camera. So flip this around. So you can see the monetization hasn't been so bad lately. So how Christianity created modern racism was monetized by review. So racism and slavery, that's okay. That Logan Paul one about racism, Donald Trump and Logan Paul, that's okay by review.
Stephen Crowder on Hitler and the Nazis being socialist, okay by review. This, okay by review, I wouldn't really expect it not to be, but apparently this one is not okay. These two are slavery, Nazis, COD being propaganda for America isn't. A real life person will watch the whole of your video and determine if it's suitable or not. And I don't always do it because sometimes I just want to get them up. If I have some time, so I uploaded most of these a couple of days in advance of when I wanted them to go up. So I uploaded that on Wednesday, and I thought it'd be fine. And then they review, and they say it's not suitable for monetization, which means it just kills. It's quite similar, but these views did well, and they were on a similar trajectory in terms of like the hours, everything like that. So that's super annoying. But the problem is when you let humans dictate, an individual human dictate. Obviously, their bias is going to come into what they think is suitable for monetization. So someone who's super pro-America watching me talk about how bad America is and how COD spreads as propaganda, it's obviously going to be like, oh, I don't want this to do well. I don't want this idea to spread. But in terms of the other two, I might have quite a fairly liberal guy watching the other ones and being like, oh, this is fine. Do you know what I mean? Like, how is Nazis, racism, and slavery fine, but video games isn't? I don't understand the logic. And it's obviously, Forgotten Weapons made a video that they can't tell you the guidelines of what to do because then people will find ways to, like, post offensive content, but they'll jump through the hoops and stuff to do it, which is just annoying. Hi, John. Thanks for joining. Evan, I'm Kim Urbanson replied to me in the comments, and then she deleted her comment. I got the screenshot though. I actually made a video on it. I'm going to upload it in the week. But since you guys are here, the 6 people here right now, you get a nice little bonus. I'm going to read you the comment right now. But yeah, super snarky. Stayed up for like 5 minutes, and then she deleted it. But and she changed it as well because she was probably watching it and then she changed the comment. So I'll show you guys. So I got it here on my iPad. So I'm making a video on this, so don't worry, I'm going to debunk all this stuff. So don't you dare slander by saying I said something about blacks and Asians that I didn't. You didn't have proof to back something up. If you're going to say it, shame on you. She deletes all of her tweets and all of her controversial stuff, so that was hard. So honestly, who is talking about ground war? Can you think beyond boots on the ground? Surely you're able to recognise other forms of engagement. I have never once said ground war. Trump has more drone strikes, yet lower body count from the strikes versus Obama's. Look at Bush's body count versus Obama. Look at Trump's versus Obama's. That's sort of facts. You provided no facts in this video. To dispute my claims, you just gave your opinion, not facts, not one. I appreciate you doing this videos. I appreciate the press, but I apologise. I won't be doing one on you. Cheers. And look at this proper snarky little comment she added. By the way, congrats on your 6K subs. Because obviously she's got 145,000, so she's like, oh, you're irrelevant. But basically, I'm going to go over this in the actual video. She's saying that Elizabeth Warren is going to lead us to war with North Korea and Iran and stuff. I don't understand, how do you have war with North Korea without ground war? Do you know what I mean? Or how do you have war with Iran without ground war? Like, if she said to me, I was talking about Syria and Venezuela where there's opposition where we could have backed to do the ground fighting or something, I would be like, okay, fair enough. You didn't make it clear, but I understand that it's just you making like a slip up. But who's going to do the fighting for you against North Korea? South Korea don't have the capacity to defeat North Korea. Do you know what I mean? It's not as militarized as North Korea. It doesn't have as many weapons. It does have like some good US stuff, but the US need to back them up. In terms of Iran, Israel do not have the amount of troops needed to occupy Iran, right? So even if that was her logic, like Israel will do the fighting for us, we'll just use airstrikes and stuff, that can't happen because the Israeli military, it's a defense force in the sense when they're at war, they will call a lot of the men up, even if they're not serving anymore. And their population is small. Iran, was it like 70 million? What's Israel? I think Israel's like, it's like 6 or 7 million, is it? Let me check. Population of Israel. It's 8 million. Population of Israel is 8.7 million against a country of 70 million. So they're going to provide the forces to conquer that country? I doubt it. So even if she didn't specify ground war, don't you think it's implied when you say war? She's gonna lead us to a war with North Korea. What is is there any other implication other than total conventional war with a country like that? Do you know what I mean? I don't understand, but also I find it funny how she didn't actually respond to the stuff about racism in the tweets at the end. I don't know if she just stopped watching. I do love the bit of snark, and I don't know how she found this video because I didn't tag her on Twitter. She must have just typed in her name and found it. I know people have been dunking on her a bit lately, but why do you guys think she deleted it? Like, do you think she deleted it because it was like a heat of the moment thing, and then she just regretted it afterwards? Do you know what I mean? That's what I think it was. And the thing is, it is really her. Like, you think it could be fake, but I got the notification on my phone, and YouTube only notifies you if the person who comments has a lot of subs. So like a couple like people, if you have like, I think over 5,000, it will notify you. And then I got the notification, and I also have the picture of the notification. So it definitely is her. So I just found it funny. I was cracking up when it happened, and I actually wrote out my response in my notes, and I went to post it, and I couldn't find it anymore. So yeah, I'm gonna make the video. I did record myself saying it, but yeah, Veronica's in the chat. I wanted to get Veronica's input because I remember Veronica came into my live stream a couple months ago and said that Kim had posted something pretty racist or something really controversial on her community tab. And I know she's tweeted racially insensitive stuff. She has this month, but she has in the past. So I wanted some perspective, and don't know if he'll join later, but another guy called Izzy, she's 145,000. Another guy called Izzy also commented saying he saw that too. So I recorded my response to it, but I'm actually going to re-record it tomorrow and include what Veronica said and what Izzy said to show that I'm not slandering her. I'm literally, you know, if you delete what you say and I remember it, but I can't remember it completely, it's not slander. Especially when I'm not actually slandering your character when you go out and tweet more racially insensitive stuff, like literally last week about Colin Kaepernick saying he hates women because he thinks the Betsy Ross flag isn't appropriate because it represents the time America was a slave state. So yeah, looking forward to that video this week. It's probably the first one I'm going to make. One fixed sandwich. She's a female. If she knows about war, I'm surprised, but that doesn't matter. I think she was just because people in the comments were like, "Where did she say ground war?" They're being super naive. I don't, like I said before, I don't understand how you have war with North Korea and Iran without a ground war. It just doesn't happen. Even in the Gulf War, the first one, where they largely used the air force to kill Saddam Hussein's like forces, they also had to use ground troops in the end. Not as much as, you know, as a normal conventional war, but they did use them. So I don't understand, who are they going to fund to fight? Yeah, South Korea cannot do the fighting against North Korea. Israel couldn't do all the fighting against Iran if that happened. So it definitely is, you know, I don't have to spell it. You don't have to spell it out to say what you mean. And also, the funny thing is, in the video, I proved about why Trump kills more civilians and that he covers it up as well. And I was trying to find the numbers. Like, I went back and looked about... looked if Trump had not killed more civilians than Obama, but I couldn't find any numbers. And then it said, I read somewhere, in Syria and Iraq, the Trump administration might have killed up to 7,000 civilians this year. And because they say they killed like, I think the report is they killed like 1,000 or something, maybe 2,000, but it says 7,000, and that is more than Obama. So, and I found the article. I think she might have been referencing in that comment, and it literally just says Trump did more strikes and he probably killed more civilians, but he's just not reporting on it, so it's kind of hard. Yeah, Max, she is blown up so much. Like, I remember when she had less than me, because that's how quickly she's blown up. What do I think about Rojava? What's Rojava? Someone else messaged me that. Is it a Call of Duty thing? Not Call of Duty, but is it like a military thing? Someone messaged me on this in my Call of Duty video. I'm sorry, I'm uninformed about this stuff. Oh, actually, no, I do know about this stuff. It's the Kurdish stuff. Is this the Kurdish stuff where the US are really going to screw them over by letting Turkey deal with them? Is that the stuff that we're talking about? Those Kurds. So it's like near, where's the border? So it's near Turkey. I think if I didn't know the exact word. Okay. Oh yeah, I do know about this stuff, but I didn't know that's what it's called. I just thought it was like the Kurdish stuff. Yeah, so this is the one that the US are basically letting Turkey invade the territory as kind of like, you know, trying to appease them. Do they also have links to the, what's it, the YPK? Yeah, Evan saying what I was just saying. YPG. Okay. And they're the ones who normally operate in Turkey. So, sorry, let's look at the chat. So Veronica's saying she deleted in a day when the comments didn't match up with her worldview. Yeah, exactly. Thank you for reminding me what it is. I just find it strange she found the video. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you reckon she's... Oh, shit. Sorry, is it right? Wait. Hold on, everyone. Sorry, is it not working? I'm live. Okay, yes, back. Alright, don't know what happened there. Yeah, so Veronica was saying, like, she deleted it and everything, so it's not surprising. She doesn't listen. So when she says stuff like about racism not existing, she gets loads of, like, African-American people saying, this is why it's a problem, and she just doesn't listen to it, and she's so defensive of the criticism. Like, obviously, like, I read you out the comment that people here. So Sarah saying, if we didn't expect ground war, why would we have so many military bases? My sister is in the Air Force in Japan. She's positioned to defend against North Korea. They're flexing the missiles they shot over Japan. Well, it's not like I think... The thing is as well, it's so crazy to think that the US want a ground war with Japan. Not Japan. Want a ground war with North Korea, which would also suck in Japan and South Korea. Like I said in my video, literally would be... It would change the world. Like, can you imagine that war? It'd just be so bad. Millions and millions of people would die. Do I support Assad, by the way? Do you mean, do I support not removing Assad from power? Rather than do I support, like, quite a horrible dictator? Turkey's going to invade the US pulls out. Long live the YPJ. Have you seen Tarantino's new movie? I went in blind, it was fantastic. No, I really want to see it, Mac. It's not out until the 14th of August here. So, annoying for me. I can't actually watch it yet, but yeah, I definitely want to go see it. Anyway, so we talked about the Kim Evans and stuff, so yeah, keep your eyes peeled. I will dissect those comments properly, sort of debunk them with a bit of evidence I've got, and just talk about how I find it quite funny. As in terms in the Democrat presidential debate, so the first one is Bernie versus Warren. Are people hoping, because they seem to get on pretty well, are you hoping they team up and take on everyone else? Or are we hoping Bernie attacks? Which I don't know. I'm not sure if he would do that against her. It's not in his nature, really. But I'm, yeah, a team up is probably the best one, because they do have some good crossover in terms of stuff they talk about that the others don't talk about, even though obviously I think Bernie's a lot better than she is. But I hope this one's a bit better, because you know, a lot of them have been quite annoying so far. Like, in terms of the first debate was so fucking boring. Topic Thunder, what play time do you call this? Well, 12:30, and since I'm not full-time employment, I can do whatever I want. What about you? I think you're in full-time employment. You should go to bed. I want Hickenlooper to have a good showing. Did you see his tweet about polling at 2% or something? It was so good. Oh shit, is my keyboard's out of battery again. But yeah, we were saying Bernie and Warren. I'd put $1,000 on him winning the election. On Hickenlooper. Oh, okay. If any attacks, she would not. Yeah, they're not going to attack each other, I don't think. So Evan's saying them attacking each other would result in petty attacks from their fans and each other candidate because they're so similar on policy. Yeah, like I said in a couple live streams ago, I still find it weird the support I'm seeing for Elizabeth Warren on, like, social media, Twitter. It's like they can't handle Bernie, so they just want, like, they just want, you know, someone, I don't know, more palatable for them. Alright, third Dem debate. I'm just going to check up the lineup.
to see who we're talking about here. So, thoughts on Camilla's weak source student loans plan. What is the plan exactly? I saw people talk about it on Twitter. Is it that you have to pay most of it back still or something like that? Topic Thunder. I've been reading how to debunk movie criticisms at the quantum level. Alright, so me and Topic Thunder were talking on Twitter. People back me up. Godfather 3 is a good movie for starters, yes or no? I think it's a good movie. That's the first one. Godfather 3, is that a good movie? 2, is Godfather 2 really overrated and boring? 3, is Godfather 3 better than Scarface? 4, is Godfather 3 better than Shawshank Redemption? Okay, and another hot take. Shawshank Redemption is an okay movie that's good, and it's what people who don't watch movies think is a great movie. There we go. Godfather 2 is brilliant. Nah, not really. It's just too long, isn't it? All that stuff with Michael in Italy. Godfather 1 is like a classic. Shawshank is definitely better than Godfather 3. Okay. People are not liking this. Alright, I gotta think another one. Alright, Stranger Things is garbage. Hunger Games is garbage, but I think we all agree on that. So people think Shawshank is the best movie ever. Yeah, Max is saying what I'm saying. I feel like it's because it's number 1 on IMDb. Yeah, that's what pisses me off. It's like, come on, best movie ever, Shawshank Redemption. Literally, like, well, because of Morgan Freeman in it. You're just like about prison. I don't know. It is a good movie. It is a good movie. But you know, Casino is better than Goodfellas. Oh, that's a hot take. I would disagree with that. I do like Casino though. Hunger Games is not garbage. Yeah, Hunger Games is garbage. Matt, you're a bit. I think you're part of like what are you like 2 or 3 years younger than me? I think you're the perfect audience for it. It was past my time. I think the first one came out when I was 17, and I was over like young adult stuff after Harry Potter, which was Harry Potter is good. So fun, I just derailed my stream. Shawshank is better. Kamala Harris wants to pretend she has a plan to help American blacks. So, and then playing into that, Canyon says, so you can get 20k of your student loans if you receive Pell Grant and open up a business in a disadvantaged area for 3 years. And you were born on a Monday under a blood moon and give God your soul. That is such a weird, like, little, like, thing, isn't it? Like, it's so specific. You can get 20k of it back if you open up a business in a disadvantaged area for 3 years. But what about if you just want to go get like a normal job that a lot of graduates do? I mean, like, I guess the incentive is to help, but I don't know. It's kind of strange. Like, make more like free market capitalists at local level. But why? Yeah, you guys are young. You guys are younger than me. That's probably why you like Hunger Games. It's just like Harry Potter ripoff, basically. There's no best movie ever. Shawshank book and movie are both good. Best movie ever, Blade Runner 2049, or we can say Drive. We can all agree on either Blade Runner 2049, the original Blade Runner, or Drive, or Her starring Joaquin Phoenix. That's the choices you guys got, and we can all agree on one. So Veronica's saying Hunger Game movies are garbage. Yes. HK saying Bugsy Malone is better than Reservoir Dogs. I guess it's like family friendly. More people probably like Bugsy Malone. I used to love it as a kid. So who else? I guess I'm like fuck because I like Hunger Games and I'm 29. I like the first one. Okay. Fight Club is your favourite. I haven't watched it in years. Oh yeah, Fight Club's good. Fight Club, Inspiration for Mr. Robot. I like both of them. And the second one. I kind of like the second Hunger Games movie. Is that when they both win? Topic Thunder says, you're right, it's an age thing. I guess I love the Godfather movies. I like the Godfather movies, but Topic Thunder was saying on Twitter, you bought into the propaganda against Godfather 3, that it's bad. It's not. Oh
Oh, okay. So Veronica's saying people who get Pell Grants are disadvantaged anyway and likely to have money to start a business. Okay, that's a rubbish scheme then. I'm a wizened old mafioso. What's the most recent mafia? If you're a wizened mafioso, you would have watched Boardwalk Empire. There you go. If you haven't, you're not wise. You're 16. Yeah, Evan, you're perfect age for it. My sister loves Hunger Games. She's a year older than you. The original beats the sequels. Okay. Stand By Me is definitely a better movie than Shawshank. Yeah, I like Stand By Me just because that scene on the rooftop. I honestly think Blade Runner is boring. Oh no! I watched Blade Runner yesterday because in honor of the actor Roy Batty in Blade Runner dying. I watched the original cut. I've never watched the original cut with Harrison Ford in the rating. It's still pretty good. The ending was dumb though because they had a happy ending because they like audience tested it and it just doesn't fit with the film. But I really liked it. I liked it. It was my third time seeing it and I really really liked it. Yeah, he died, Mac. Did you not see in the news? It was sad. Yeah, and everyone was obviously being in one of the most famous scenes in one of the most famous movies of all time isn't a bad like legacy. But people know him from a lot of stuff. I remember him in Sin City and was it Batman Begins? He was like the evil guy who owned Wayne's Enterprise. I vote original. Mad Max Fury Road. Yeah, that's a good one actually, Veronica. Best movie? I can see why people would say that actually. Not for me, but I can definitely... Veronica's made the best suggestion so far what the best movie ever is. People got... Oh, actually. Departed sucks. Train, no. What are you talking about? The Departed is so good. Like, it's not my favourite Scorsese film, but oh my god, that ending. When you first watch... The Departed, that ending is so shocking and crazy. It's so good, and like all the Boston stuff, and obviously the shipping up to Boston song. I love that. Anastasia and Surfs Up are the best, hands down. Well, if you think that, it's fine. I liked Anastasia. I didn't like Surfs Up though. Anastasia was okay when I was a kid. It was like fake Disney. Was it like DreamWorks or something? Max saying, I think people give Godfather 3 so much shit because it's worse compared to the other two, but I think the first is the best. First is the best. I like 3. And okay, I guess 2 is a better movie, but if you're more enlightened, you like 3 more, I think. Just like if you're an intellectual, I think you like 3 a bit more. Sorry. HK saying, Stand By Me, Shawshank Redemption, and Apt Pupil is from the same book. Oh, is it all one book? Is it like a collection of short stories? Is it like that Family Guy episode when they go through all of them? I did it. It's glorious. Oh, you watched Boardwalk Empire? Great, so good. Boardwalk Empire is the best gang mafia related thing. The part is great. Yes. Lots of good movies. How do they age? The Green Mile holds up well. Yeah, Green Mile is a good one actually. Lots of those Tom Hanks films are actually, they always hold up really well. Evan saying Blade Runner is amazing. I went to see the AI exhibition recently at Barbican and it featured a lot. It's so good. And you should watch some of the videos on cyberpunk and postmodernism. Interesting. Oh, nice. Where was that at the bar? Where's the Barbican in London? I wish I knew about this. Yeah, when I was watching it yesterday, I couldn't believe how well it holds up. Like, I think it's because of like a lot of the practicality of the sets and stuff. But yeah, still so good. I prefer the sequel to Blade Runner 2049 is better in my opinion. Better movie, better acting. But the first one, just the world, like, yeah, so good. Are we talking about the Blade Runner ending, Train, or are we talking about something else here? Oh, the Departed ending, sorry. Departed ending's so good, it's so shocking. And then Mark Wahlberg just comes in with the silenced pistol. Best horror movie. I'm not a big horror movie fan. So I guess people would say Shining, which I don't... Is Shining a horror movie? I guess it is. I guess The Shining is probably one of the, like, in terms of, like... Because Kubrick and stuff. And it's always very influential. That scene, the only good scene in Ready Player One was the Shining one. So King of Comedy is great Scorsese. I haven't watched that one. Is it one of his earlier ones? So Topic Fun is saying RoboCop is the best Shakespearean actor adaptation of Macbeth. I should go to bed. So that's your hot take. Last one. Is RoboCop an adaptation of Macbeth? I got one. The RoboCop reboot is better than the original, the one with Joel Kinnaman. Yeah, Veronica is so yeah. Veronica says I almost walked out of the movie theater when I watched The Departed. I was so upset. Yeah, it's so shocking when Leonardo DiCaprio like he gets through all that stuff and then you know you think he's won and then fucking what's his name? He's in the Pacific. That actor shoots him in the head. It's so bad. Avengers Endgame is the best film of all time. Well, no way. Avengers Endgame isn't even the best Avengers film. Infinity War was better. Max can have a hard time believing Boardwalk Empire is better than Sopranos, but I haven't watched it to be fair. Boardwalk Empire, in my opinion, is better than Sopranos because well, for me anyway, because the history stuff is really more engaging, way higher budget. I like the more formal gangster stuff instead of like Sopranos is about like the gangsters like the sort of dying days of the Italian mafia where Boardwalk Empire is sort of about the birth of the Italian mafia where it gets really big. So I like Boardwalk Empire a lot more than I love the 20s. Just the attention to detail in Boardwalk Empire is so good. Like something like Mad Men is good, but Boardwalk Empire is just like another level for like the history. I really like it. It's one of my favorite shows. So Chris saying 1982, good year for movies. Blade Runner, E.T., Rambo, Conan, Poltergeist, Tron, The Thing. Nice. That's actually a really good year actually. And how many have I seen? Blade Runner, E.T., obviously. Rambo 1. Rambo 1's decent. I prefer the one when he goes to Vietnam. Obviously, Rambo's pretty problematic for someone like me. Like, I just made a video about Call of Duty. Rambo's pretty bad. Well, the first one's pretty good because he's like a Vietnam vet and he's just such an outcast and he's just trying to like get attention. But the other ones are basically like propaganda for the United States. I haven't watched The Thing because it's horror. Tron I haven't seen. I've seen the newer one. It's called Different Seasons by Stephen King. Okay, so that's what the Family Guy one was about. So Veronica saying Green Mile is a book by itself. Apt Pupil and Shawshank Redemption were in the same book, different seasons. Oh, okay, so they're all different. Anastasia is a Don Bluth film distributed by Fox. Is it actually your favourite of all time? Okay, Twit Thunder's taking the piss. I don't know if you are. You're trying to outmatch me with my movie takes. Evan saying, insane how we are able to imagine such insane worlds like Blade Runner. Sorry, it keeps going down. Blade Runner, and nowadays we have Ready Player One. We've lost the ability to dream up because of capitalism, and we linger in the nostalgia. Well, the Surfs made quite a good video about Snowpiercer because they talk about like Bioshock and like these dystopias. So I don't think it's like it's necessarily like worse, but Blade Runner is pretty like iconic and imaginative. Like when I was watching it yesterday, and even 2049, you want to visit these worlds just like for a day. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't want to live in the Blade Runner world because it's obviously dystopia and it's crap and stuff. But I want to visit just because of the rain and the snow in the sequel and just the massive buildings. And obviously there's a lot of places in China you can go actually look like Blade Runner, and Japan as well. The Deer Hunter, yes, the good one. Spinal Tap. Is that the weird documentary about Spinal Tap? Topic Thunder's last hot take. Band of Brothers is way better than the Pacific. That's not a hot take because everyone thinks that. The hot take is what I'm saying. The Pacific is is not only better than Band of Brothers, it's just way better as a piece of like anti-war film, I think, because the Band of Brothers kind of makes war, in my opinion, look kind of like okay in especially the earlier episodes. Like it's kind of like, oh, these people, a lot of them don't die, you know, but in the Pacific it's like, you know, this is the jungle, this is like really hot places, you're going to die pretty brutally, you're facing an enemy who's just never going to surrender, and it's just disgusting, you know, just to watch and horrific. I think Pacific it's got a better like message of like never again and stuff. Band of Brothers is good as well. Narratively, I guess there's a lot more characters to care for. Band of Brothers obviously focuses on Rami Malek, what's his name, Joe Marazello, or from thingy, from what's it, Jurassic Park. Oh, thank you, HK. Thanks, I appreciate the donation. Thanks a lot. Are you going off now as well? Sorry, I haven't been keeping up. But yeah, thanks a lot, man. I really appreciate the support and the donation. I hope you have a good, if you're going off now, have a good week. And I appreciate you joining the chat. And I appreciate your comments on my videos, actually. I noticed you comment on most of them, so Yeah. Have a good week, HK. So Lee's saying, I blame ET for the outbreak of trick-or-treating in the UK. Lee, are you older? How old are you, Lee? Sorry, you have told me before. Are you old enough to remember when it came out? Kung Pao is the best spoof movie. No, the best spoof movie is Hot Shots Part 2, when Charlie Sheen is doing his monologue from Platoon, and then his boat goes past Martin Sheen doing his monologue from Apocalypse Now, and they're both doing it, and they both stand up and they're like, "Oh, I love you" on Wall Street, because they're both from Wall Street. I love that scene. It's so good. I love when things I like collide in a proper serious way, like they're proper doing their monologues from their films. I just love it so much. It's such a good scene. And also like like when he kicks that guy in the nuts and it comes out of his mouth. Like I just remember that as when I was a kid. I do like the original Hot Shots as well though, the Top Gun spoof, because the second one's obviously like a Rambo, and some other and Rambo and Apocalypse Now spoof, I guess, isn't it? Hot Fuzz or Baby Driver? Hot Fuzz is funnier. Baby Driver's better. I think it's fair to say. Snowpiercer underrated. Yeah, Bioshock. Snowpiercer is really good actually. I always like Ed Harris, whatever he's in. Bioshock is such a great game. The original, I prefer Infinite to be honest. The original's good as well. Alien is great, says Veronica. I'm much of a pussy to watch Alien, to be honest. The Xenomorph is just so disgusting. I just don't want to watch him. Yeah, Hot Fuzz over Baby Driver. Yeah, I like Hot Fuzz more. Evan saying, in the cities in Blade Runner are a response to Thatcherism and Reagan from the deregulation of advertisement, neoliberalism on acid, free markets, libertarians. I buy, therefore I am. I think it's also, I don't think it's necessarily, it's obviously influenced by that, so like Ridley Scott and stuff. It's also obviously about they thought Japan were going to take over the world economy, and that's why in Blade Runner it's all Japanese. There have been some theories that Blade Runner actually takes place in a world where America lost World War Two, because in Man in the High Castle, which is also written by Philip K. Dick, like Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep or Sleep or whatever, the book that's part of Blade Runner, but obviously the author at Man in the High Castle, they're saying it's Japanese because obviously the Japanese won the war and stuff. What was I say? But yeah, I think it is all that stuff. You know, it's about the economic fears of the time, 1982, where Blade Runner 2049 is about the economic and societal fears of 2017. That's why Los Angeles has snow and a massive. Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? Thank you for correcting me. Los Angeles has a massive wall to keep out the sea because obviously climate change is destroying Los Angeles. Topic Thunder saying, critically, the Pacific was better received by critics. You don't remember because you were in diapers. Yeah, but I'm in tune with the conversation. And if you go on the movies Reddit or television Reddit, they'll always say Band of Brothers is better. I think Pacific is better. My girlfriend thought Pacific is better as well. She said it's one of the best things she's watched. So John loves Serenity as much as he loves Firefly. I watched a fair bit of Firefly, which I really like. It's Joss Whedon. What's Serenity actually? Let me look it up. I haven't seen Serenity. Type in a sec. Oh, Lee, you're only 41. Okay. So you don't remember when E.T. Well, why are you blaming E.T. for Trick or Treat then? It's like when we started doing Black Friday. I'm old enough to remember when we didn't do Black Friday. Airplane is the best spoof movie. Yeah, I like Airplane. What's the other one with the same actor? What's his name again? The cop one. Naked Gun with O.J. Simpson. That is so funny. Oh, Serenity is Nathan Fillion as well. And it's Joss Whedon. Oh, it's a film though. Oh, okay. Fuck off, what's this? Alright, sorry, I missed a couple. Okay. Airplane. Hot Shots has Ryan Stiles in. Serenity is high on my list. Philip Dick wrote the stories behind Blade Runner, Minority Report. Yeah, Minority Report, Blade Runner, Total Recall, and Man in the High Castle, isn't it? Bioshock 2 is the best. I like Bioshock 2. I might like it better than 1, actually. The combat's way more fun. So Max saying, I just looked up Band of Brothers and see that it premiered on September 9th, 2001. I think that's something to do with why it was popular. Did it really premiere then? That's super weird. I think it's just popular because it's a good show, to be honest. But that could add into it. Yeah, Philip Dick has a lot of short stories. I think BBC did a lot of them as a show. So Lee saying, be aware of reading too much into art produced for entertainment purposes. I like it, to be honest. Like, people were saying in my Call of Duty video, it's just a video game. Why are you criticizing Call of Duty? Like, it's just for fun. But I'm saying, like, okay, the whole basis of my video was like Orientalism by Edward Said, which you pretty much have to read in any political science class at university. It's talking about the relationship between power and knowledge, and the powerful people can spread the knowledge of something. So in my video I was saying the Vietnam War, for example, kids play that game, teenagers play that game. If that's your first step into Vietnamese, war history, your perspective is going to be Americans are good, Vietnamese are evil. If that's your first, exposure to the Bay of Pigs and Fidel Castro, you're gonna have the exact same opinion. These people are evil, Americans are good. And that's the problem with it. It's not, and at a really low level, this can influence the way people act when this stuff sort of brainwashes you. Like, remember American Sniper with Chris Kyle, right? This guy is a total piece of shit. Someone like Clint Eastwood, super Republican, makes a film basically rehabilitating his image. He's a garbage person, but then that becomes the knowledge of Chris Kyle. A lot of people start to like him again, and the film gets nominated for Oscars and stuff. Same with The Hurt Locker as well, the way it depicts Muslims and Arabs. That's the problem with it. I don't understand why people... Okay, Lee, I don't know if you're being serious, but this is my response to your comment, if it was serious. I don't understand saying entertainment is entertainment. Entertainment is reflective of society, and especially when you're a power like America or Britain, you have the power to spread depictions of people and events that will become the mainstream knowledge of it. If you're not fair to the event that's happening, you're essentially spreading up stereotypes and propaganda. That's my opinion anyway. Some films are obvious propaganda, and I don't have much of a problem with them, like Top Gun, for example. Obvious, like, US propaganda, but at the same time, it's more like a reflection of the way of thinking. And because it takes place in a very, like, I guess, isolated place, it's like, who's the bad guys? Is it, like, sort of like Syria or something? Do you know what I mean? It's like, really not clear, and it all takes place in terms of, like, America and its training and stuff. So I don't find it problematic, really. Whereas something like Platoon, as much as I like it, and as much as it has an anti-war message, it doesn't do anything to show anything about the Vietnamese. Obviously, it does show the American soldiers killing civilians, but at the same time, I do like a bit more nuance, and you're dealing about the reasons why these people are fighting, because then it becomes, this is like an American tragedy, when the actual tragedy is America did this to that country. That's the problem with it. It's not that these young men, as bad as it was, had to go to a war and destroy themselves fighting this war. That's part of it, but the tragedy is you killed Vietnamese by the millions and poisoned their country with defoliants and napalm. That's the problem, and that's why I find it particularly offensive in things like Call of Duty, where you paint the North Vietnamese as the bad guys, like super bad, no context why they're fighting. And then you play as the CIA, who literally went around the country massacring civilians in secret programs. They're the good guys. You're the ones getting tortured. You're the ones busting free, whatever. And then Woods, the character from the game, gets tortured in Vietnam for like 10 years. That's what people will think of Vietnam if you tell them that in this game. And I know it seems kind of silly for people like Call of Duty, but it's the biggest video game franchise in the world. It makes so much money, more than like most movies, and it's spreading that image to everyone. That's my problem with it. Anyway, bit of a rant, but links to my new video. But yeah, hey Kennedy, thanks for joining. The only good movie ever is what's that, Witch or The Witch? So topic saying Serenity, Firefly the movie, or how Margot is group. Okay, so I need to finish Firefly and then watch Serenity, or is it the other way around? Yeah, we're talking about films. Veronica saying if you watch Godfather, sorry, with H? Yeah, you mean Marlon Brando's older than you in it? Or you're older than Okay, sorry, I don't understand the comment. Because it kind of the spelling went weird. You can watch Alien and Aliens. It's too scary, man. I'd be just haunt my dreams if I watch Aliens. Diane saying, does anyone like Rake from Australia? Can't get enough. Brilliant situations, relationships, and political satire. Rake. Yeah, I'm gonna type this in. Rake. So it only have 40 episodes. So it's about a judge or a lawyer. Okay, Max saying, I'm sure Band of Brothers is good, but I feel like the ultra patriotism after 9/11 made it bigger. Yeah, maybe. It is a good series though. I'll give it that. Obviously, art and entertainment have influences, and yes, sometimes hidden motives, sometimes not too well hidden. Often they're just trying to be funny or get noticed. Yeah, I get that, but I think it's interesting to dissect it sometimes. So for example, the people who wrote Call of Duty Modern Warfare came out in 2007, and the video game industry was way different. They're obviously not thinking, I'm gonna paint the Middle East like this because I hate Arabs or something. It's obviously like they've been influenced about US media, films, and everything, and it's not their fault and it's unintentional. They're just trying to make, a serious story, a fun video game at the end of the day. But I think it reflects certain stereotypes that people just buy into automatically, and then they'll put it in their own work without really thinking about it, because obviously their goal isn't to tell a political story about the Middle East. It's about making a fun video game. So yeah, Veronica didn't watch The Hurt Locker, Zero Dark 30. Zero Dark 30 is not even true. That is the problem, because Seymour Hersh basically told the truth about the Bin Laden stuff. The ultimate US propaganda film, Team America. That's a good one for making people see how much bullshit is, pretty much. So Topic Fun is saying, I didn't see it till 2008. We watched the series every year. I think it's the whole idea of characters having been based on real people. The Pacific's based on real people, though. It's based on... Two of the main characters wrote a book, and then the third one is like a super famous Marine anyway, so it's quite well documented. I think Pacific looks better, more brutal, really gets you in the mindset. I think it shows there's a lot of episodes where there's not a lot of fighting as well. And there's obviously, I think there's 3 episodes when they're not even at war, which I think really helps. John saying, it's hard not to compare video games today and the movies of the 30s and 40s. Racist propaganda. I think, the 30... I guess that's a good point, John, that it's like reflective of its time. But because video games is obviously... Back in the day, like 2007, you're not getting professional film writers in to do your video games. I think they do that a lot now. But you're not getting people maybe who are more exposed to like how to write a proper story. So then it just starts reflecting stuff like that. I don't really care for war movies except Tropic Thunder and Saving Private Ryan. Yeah, they're both good actually. Obviously, Tropic Thunder is more of a comedy. My favourite war movies are Dunkirk, Thin Red Line. I'll stop there actually. They're my favourite. Dunkirk's the best, I think. Thin Red Line is so good though. One of my favourites. Kennedy's too soft for war movies. I love them. I love war stuff. Probably why I like history so much, actually. The movie Godfather is older than you. Okay, what's it? So Godfather's 1972. So, Veronica, you're 40, I think you said before. So, yeah, it did come out. Well, how old my parents when it came out? My parents were like 9, so they didn't see it either. Okay, Serenity is a wrap-up series, so finish the series first, otherwise you'll be crying throughout the whole show. Okay. So I was making a serious point, Cav, yes. Oh, okay. Well, you responded fine. I just thought you'd been... I think there is a place to critique it. The only good Australian films are Priscilla and Malcolm. The only good Australian film is Mad Max 1 and 2. Which war film do I think is the most American propaganda? Anyone want to chip in with that? What war film is the most pro-US? Obviously, there's loads of crap, which I haven't seen. In terms of good ones, yeah, I'm not too sure. In terms of good ones, propaganda, I guess a lot of them are, American Sniper, there you go, thank you. I already spoke about that. American Sniper and Zero Dark 30, I think. Other than that, I'm not too sure. Things like Black Hawk Down, maybe. But that's I like that movie, but I don't know, it doesn't do too much for the context. So Max saying, I bought Sniper Elite 4, it's been pretty fun sniping Nazis and then that. Sniper Elite 4 is the Italian one, isn't it? The last one I played was 3. I did like 3. It does get a bit repetitive at the end, and because the stealth isn't that good.
Lee saying they're possibly pitching to a market and trying to hit those subconscious triggers. I just think a lot of the time it's ignorance. Like, a lot of these tropes and stereotypes that are thrown in is because of ignorance. Yeah, Mac, Dunkirk was very nice and compact, I think. Nice running time. Really good as an anti-war thing. And I think it's a really interesting choice to not show Nazi soldiers, really, until right at the end. But then they're out of focus. So I think it becomes a bit more like, not timeless, because I think it's timeless because it's a great film, but like the themes can easily expand beyond, the Second World War. Okay, Lee saying, you'll know if I was being flippant. Okay, 38's older than you. Nearly every film I like's older than me. Well, not every film. I like a lot of 2010 films. Yeah, American Sniper. All right, Veronica, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate the comments. I also appreciate you telling me about the Kim stuff in the comments. I'm going to use that in my video. Have I ever seen Enemy at the Gates? Yeah, I really like Enemy at the Gates. Jude Law, Ron Perlman, Rachel Weisz. Yeah, I really like that film. And pretty iconic opening, isn't it? Like, they're all running without weapons and stuff. It's fucking brutal. Kennedy saying, yeah. Max saying, the game is very repetitive but fun formula nonetheless. Yeah, I still like it. I did really like the one set in Egypt and Libya. Kennedy saying, wasn't American Sniper about a real shitty dude? Yeah, so I was saying this earlier. Chris Kyle was a sniper who said he killed like 200 people. All right, well done. Like, mate, you've killed people from a distance. Bragged about killing civilians and women and stuff. Then said during Hurricane Katrina, he went into New Orleans and sniped looters. This didn't happen, but he's crazy for bragging about it. Just bragging about loads of crazy stuff, saying like Jesse Ventura beat up one of his mates for no reason and like really slandered Jesse Ventura. And then when Jesse Ventura sued him, Chris Kyle's friend killed him, and then obviously the suit went to his estate, but then the media made out that like Jesse Ventura was suing Chris Kyle's widow, and he wasn't. It just went that way because Chris Kyle like defamed him in his book. So yeah, Logan saying American Sniper is a propaganda film. I was so angry when it came out. Like, it was so problematic when it came out. Like, and Clint Eastwood is a piece of shit anyway. Max saying, did I watch Chernobyl? No, I've got that on my list. I'm trying to finish Too Old to Die Young with Miles Teller, and then got to finish The Americans, and I got to watch Chernobyl. It is on my list. So like, it's not one of those things where I'm saying like I'm gonna watch it, and I'm not going to. I am definitely gonna watch it. I'm just trying to finish some stuff. Jesse Ventura should beat this shit out of Chris Kyle. Well, Chris Kyle's been dead for 6 years, but if he was alive, definitely. Chris Kyle, he got shot by one of his other buddies. They took a guy with PTSD to the shooting range, and then he shot them. Like, not a great place to bring your buddy who is haunted by war. Kenny saying, I heard so many people saying they wanted to be like Chris Kyle if that movie came out. I was like, that's super cool, love that. And that's what I was saying, like, with the Call of Duty stuff. It you might think Call of Duty because it's a video game is dumb, but like all this stuff together paints a certain picture in the culture of, the service and the military, what is like good. Can anyone make the case that a sniper operating in Iraq who killed civilians and killed lots of people from a distance is a hero? Like, I get that can be someone's role and you have to do it as a job, but I don't understand celebrating that like Clint Eastwood did. And then he mythicized Chris Kyle. Like I'm saying, the power and knowledge thing. He mythicized Chris Kyle as a way more decent guy than he was. And that becomes everyone's image of him. And he's obviously played by a good-looking, charismatic, and like very good actor in Bradley Cooper, who's also, I can't believe he took that role. He probably thought it was his ticket to get the Best Actor nomination. No, he got the nomination. He didn't win, though. Yeah, I can't believe it got an Academy Award. It's so problematic to give that film like recognition. The Hurt Locker too. Hurt Locker's a bit better, but at the same time, the way it shows the region is pretty bad. Yeah, so Logan saying, I know a friend who used to be obsessed with COD, and he wants to join the military, and I really don't want him to. Video games are such a good way to indoctrinate people. Obviously, the CIA and a lot of the army, they've funded video games and stuff. But Call of Duty is probably like the best thing for the military, like getting people in early, getting them indoctrinated what they think's awesome, getting them to love the weapons, love the guns, love the technology.
essentially thinking, it'll be like Call of Duty in the military. Obviously it won't, but there's no respawn to real life. Yeah, exactly. Do I like secular talk? To be honest, I don't really watch him too much. I like him enough. I saw that tweet that from 2016 where he said something really homophobic. I don't remember exactly what it was, but yeah, I got nothing against him. I like him. Like I was saying on Twitter, it's crazy how much money he makes off YouTube. But Patreon, he makes 13.8k a month. Crazy. Give me 2 months. Even in dollars, give me that 2 months. Give me fucking 28k a year. I'll be happy. Sorry, I'm in a YouTubers union on Facebook. They're just posting some stuff. He's been getting on news discussion panels more often these days. That's good. Cenk Uygur has been on it a lot more as well. I've been seeing on Twitter and stuff. It's always good to get people like that on, just because they're less about bullshit, really. World War One and World War Two trained soldiers from Vietnam to today. We train killers. There was an interesting quote in the, I always talk about this one, but the Ken Burns Vietnam documentary, where one of the veterans is saying, like, people say the army make you a killer, and he's saying they don't make you a killer. Like, humans are killers. What the army do is just sort of unlock it in you. It's not like it's like your nature that they're just sort of revealing from the training. I thought that was pretty interesting, because obviously he saw the brutality of the war and everything. So he obviously knows way more about that sort of stuff than I do. But yeah, I found it interesting. But my mate was in the British Army. He told me, basically, they take you to Scotland, really cold place, and you do about, I think it's a week. It's how they break you down, and they super abusive, like beat you up, treat you like absolute garbage, push you to your absolute limits, get in your face all the time, giving you so much abuse to try and break down your emotions. So they break you down and build you back up. That's what they say it does. So he's saying, like, literally treated like I said to him, you should write a book, because if most people knew this, they would not join the army. This sounds awful, what you've told me. And I want to make some videos of him at some point. He's moved away, but hopefully I can get that sorted, because it is super interesting getting an insight into how they treat you there. He hated it towards the end. So Kennedy's saying, I have a Twitter anarchist in my mentions who says Antifa is bad and the alt-right is anti-war. Well, Antifa isn't bad. Alt-right are a bunch of fascists, and they might be, we talked about it before, like, they might be isolationists and anti-war. It's not really for any good reasons, though. It's because they just want to concentrate their power back home to create their ethno-state or create their whatever. John saying, I understand that people are forced to sell their bodies for personal gain. I fail to understand why they deserve parades. War should not be a profit-based industry. Well, the parades are for, like, to keep the public, sentiment, make them think they are somebody, really, isn't it? To give them some sort of sense of authority, like they're important. Otherwise, you just wouldn't get all the recruits anymore. I don't agree with the military. I don't think the military are heroes. Like, I hate this crap. Like, thank you for your service and stuff. What am I? Especially in the US case, what are you thanking them for? How are they protecting you? They're not. I can understand in terms of, like, countries, maybe like Japan or some countries that, like, try and make self-defense forces. Even, okay, the Israeli self-defense force isn't like a self-defense force, really, is it? But, like, I mean, countries that look more inwards and, like, we're going to protect ourselves, and especially ones that are in more, like, hostile regions, I don't get, thanking the British troops or thanking the American troops anymore. I get it after World War II, whatever, but after that, I don't really get it. Lee saying, you need to get on some UK TV discussions to boost your profile. Anything of historical reference or stance would show you at your best. Thanks, Lee. The problem is, it's who you know, really. Like, Ash Sakar gets asked on and stuff, and Owen Jones, but they got a massive following. The problem is with me, I haven't got a massive following, so I'm not in the, I guess, the sphere. Because my lecturers, because I went to university in London for my second one, they said they get called up a lot because they're local and they're sometimes experts in their fields, it's pretty easy just to pull them in and be like, can you please give us a statement on China or the Iraq war or whatever, something like that. But yeah, for me, I'd love to do that. I think I'd be good on TV. And I like what Ash does and stuff in the UK. So yeah, I'd love to do that, but I doubt it's going to happen anytime soon. Kyle, Cenk, and stuff. They're established. They're massive. They helped fight. They helped found the Justice Democrats as well. So got a lot more like clout than I do. Oddly Wild saying hi, Cav. It's Oddly, aka Grandma. I can't stay long. Sunday is Minecraft for me and my other grandson. I'll watch more later. Yeah, no problem. Thanks for coming to say hi, Ma. Wait, could you explain about Tommy Robinson, what he did? I don't really understand why people are saying free him. Yeah, simply put, Tommy Robinson, he was talking about these paedophile grooming gangs for ages. They got sent to court, and he went outside the trial filming it. And basically what he did, among other things, he could have ruined the trial and they would all been set free because it would have been contempt of court. So he deserves to go to jail. If you care about jailing paedophiles as much as you say you do, why are you potentially going to ruin the trial where they'll all walk free? So yeah, he deserves to be in jail. Free Tommy. They think it's like some agenda against him. It's not. He broke the law. He's a fucking idiot. Jose saying, howdy sir, how's your week been? My week's been pretty good. How's yours been? What have I done this week? It's been super hot. Second hottest day of all time on Thursday. Of course, I had football training. If anyone, I don't think any of you follow me on my personal Instagram, but I posted about it on there. So brutal. Only 5 of us showed up. Just did loads of running. Played football Wednesday. Did some more training Monday, Tuesday. Made my videos. Made 3 videos this week, so I was pretty pleased with that. Wrote some stuff. So on Friday, I just chilled. Played some video games. Saturday, watched Blade Runner. Saw my girlfriend. She stayed over. Sunday, went for dinner with her for lunch with her family. She came round and we just hung out. So it was pretty good overall. So I hope yours is good as well. Max saying, I think he recorded something outside the courtroom during the ongoing trial. Yeah, it's illegal. Yeah, exactly. That's it. So Lee saying, funny how people can be so gun-ho supportive of their own military parades, yet still look with derision at the heavily choreographed parades of certain other nations. Yeah, it's funny, like the US stupid parade, and they're like, oh, isn't North Korea and Russia so dumb? It's like, no, you're doing the exact same stuff. I could be the straight Dr. David Starkley. I could just be the boy version of Ash Shakar, or the straight version of Owen Jones. No, joking. I do want to, some of the garbage I see in The Guardian, I'm like, I should pitch something because I see so much crap in there, and I can write better for one thing, and my opinion's about. I might actually try and pitch some stuff this week. I don't know what topic I'm going to do though. What position do I play? Alabama, I play different positions. So when I was a kid, I used to play in goal for a bit, and then I played centre back, which everyone said I was really good when I was a kid at centre back. As I got older, I played in midfield, and when I went to uni, I played left wing, and now I play centre forward. But basically, I've said to them, because it's semi-pro, and so I said I'll play centre forward. I'd like to play centre forward, but I also play midfield if you want. Midfield is just so much more tiring, just so much running. Up front is running, but because you got the mental thing of going for the ball and trying to score, I find it a lot better. Jose said, I'm chilling. As someone from Miami, my skin is falling off from the heat. I feel bad for you this week because of how hot it's been in the UK. So I know what position I would play him in. Okay, like my son's sexual gang of the stream gone. Disgustingly dirty boy. No, centre forward is the best. I hit the post and the bar during my trial, which was annoying, but I got in the good positions. John saying he gave 6 years of his life to EverQuest. What, do you play anything now, John? You should get a Nintendo Switch. What have you been playing lately? I've been playing Mario Maker, Crash Team Racing, Resident Evil, and that's pretty much it, actually. Some Crash remaster as well. Tetris 99. Playing like 100. Oh shit, wait. Have I played 99 hours of Tetris 99? I think I just saw. This might be a historic moment. Oh, I played for 90 hours. That's dumb. It should tell me 99 hours. Hi, Michael. Thank you for joining. Drinkwater saying, if you have time, can you do a video about how racism will affect AI? You made me think of it with your Call of Duty analysis. The fact that this AI will give deniability presented as unbiased. Yeah, Drinkwater, that's really interesting actually. I need to do a bit more research on it, but obviously if the programmers of AI are a certain way with certain biases, yeah, actually that's a good point. You're talking about my Call of Duty one, how I'm talking about as like inherent biases in media. I guess you could apply that to AI one day. And like when we get AI running things, like what if AI starts running visa applications? Do you know what I mean? But it's based on the people who created it. Alabama, I did an article on Brexit and football, and I actually wrote a script for a YouTube channel called Tifo Football, but they haven't done the video yet. I don't know if they're waiting or they're just never going to do it. Let me check if they've uploaded it. I doubt it. I wrote it like 2 months ago. Yeah, still haven't done it. Annoying. Okay, there's lots of people who wrote articles, but I have also wrote one. But yeah, it is interesting. There we go, I found it. I posted it on Reddit, I got so much fucking hate. Even from the soccer Reddit. There you go. Alabama, if you want to check this out, my article on Brexit and Premier League. So Lee's saying, seriously now that usually the older footballers get the further back they play, so an exception to the rule. Yeah, but Lee, I'm only 23, so... but I guess go in the opposite direction. But I've gotten quicker as I've gotten older. I think because I've just been focusing on running more as I've gotten older. And like my technique, so I think I'm better now for it than I used to be. Jose saying, did that vote of no confidence against Corbyn from the House of Lords ever happen? No, and the Lib Dems put one in. Shit, I forgot why he didn't do it. Basically, he didn't do it. I don't remember why he didn't do it. It was something like he wouldn't get the necessary vote, so he just wasn't going to bother. And the Lib Dems did it just to make themselves look better and like pressure him to do it too, but he's just not doing it. So Fallout, yeah, Fallout's good. Fallout, I completed Fallout New Vegas and 4. I like both of them. Fallout New Vegas is the best Fallout game. Changed my mind. No, I agree with you. I like it too. Could do with a couple more songs though. All Fallout games could. Keep playing the same thing. I'm subscribed to them. Yeah, hopefully one day you see my video then, Alabama. 23 whippersnapper. How old are you, Michael? I'm subscribed to them. Nobody likes you when you're 23. 23 is a weird age. Like, I keep thinking I'm 25, so I've got like I got like another year and a half before I get to the age I think I am. I don't like Big Iron on his hip. I don't like that one. I like Johnny Guitar though. Older than you. Seems most people who subscribe to me are older than me. I'm actually quite happy a lot of my subscribers are especially the ones who are more active, are women. Not because I'm like, some sort of like player or something, but I just, my channel used to be a lot of just, I know it is mainly men still, but at the same time, there's a lot more women these days, which is good. So my content is more broadly, appealing than it used to be when I just get men all the time. Although the compliments I get on my appearance do come mostly from men. Not complaining, obviously. Older than you. Okay, fair enough. 23 club, yeah. Kennedy is, I think she's gone now, but she was same age as me too. I don't know if she's 24 though, but I think we're in the same, we're born in the same year. But yeah, it's a weird age. Like these days it feels like you don't grow up. Like I was with my friends last Saturday and we just went to the park at like 9:30, 10, and we were just like drinking and kicking a ball around. It was like pitch black, and I was like, we're literally doing the exact same stuff we used to do when we were like 16, and I'm doing it with the exact same people as well. And I'm just like, I could like snap my fingers and be back in like 2012, and I wouldn't feel, okay, I do feel a bit different, but not that different. John saying, I got grandchildren older than you and you're doing great. Oh, thanks man, but that's crazy. You're 69, John, aren't you? I think you told me before. So grandkids older than me. Well, so when did you have children, John? When you're in your 20s, I'm guessing. Matt is saying, I wish they would make another good Fallout game. Maybe because I like it so much. Because I was a kid, it was a better time.
but the game from 2010 is better than the Fallout games now. It just was a good game, I think. In general, it would be a good remaster, because it's like, I think the faction stuff was really good in that, and like the multiple endings. Like, I wonder who I'd side with now. Like, I sided with the NCR before, but would I really like the NCR now? Like, it's just basically the US government, or like, well, California specifically, like, trying to bring back power. Would I side with who is it? The Caesar's Legion or the Great Khans or something? You sided with Caesar's Legion. They're too crazy for me. I did NCR. Sarah saying, I feel 16 and 30 at the same time. My back says 17 though. I really don't want to get to that stage one day. I'm hoping I'll keep healthy and fit and whatever till I'm older. But I don't want to get to that stage where I see people complaining about. It's like, it's very like, what's it? You just wake up one day and your back really hurts and your legs really hurt and you just feel old. I hope that doesn't happen to me. I'm hoping it won't. But you never know. I feel pretty good, to be honest. Like, I don't feel any more tired as when I was younger. I think because I don't drink, to be honest. So I never have those like really bad hangovers on the weekend. So Alaban, thanks. I'm trying to become a football journalist, and that was a good read. No problem, man. I would actually like to write a lot about football. My uncle wrote a book about the first British black British player, or black player to play for England, which is pretty interesting. I met a guy called Cyril Regis, who's a pretty famous black footballer. And then he died like 6 months after I met him, which is crazy. He was only like 65. And he died, and I was like, it's so weird. Like, I would never have even known who he was, and I would obviously never met him if my uncle didn't write that book. And then he dies like after I meet him. It's so crazy. Yeah, the only thing wrong with that article, Alaban, someone changed Jadon Sancho to Jordan Sancho, which looks bad on me for not knowing, but I did know. So John's saying 69, it's not always cracked up to be fuck the golden years. Oh no, my parents are 58 and 56, I think. So they're getting there one day too. I'm not looking forward to it, John, if it makes you feel any better. I'm actually dreading it already. I'm trying to enjoy my life until I'm 30. I don't want kids, I don't want to be married, don't want any of that crap until I'm 30, then I can be a real adult. The Enclave are a bunch of hoes. Yeah, the Enclave are like the US government fascists, aren't they? But they're not even in New Vegas, really. You can get their armor, I think. Watch the Red Dwarf Rimmer speech about turning 25, 26. Oh no. Do I want to leave, though? Is it going to depress me? Or is it just a bit of a laugh? Sarah, you've got a better chance than me. I've got bad health and I will send voodoo waves to prevent your back from deteriorating. Yeah, I hope so. I've been actually, when I do weights now, I've put down the weights, not weights, I've put down the amount because it was kind of hurting my body a bit. So I'm hoping if I'm smart, I can avoid it. Jose saying, what do you think about Corbyn abolishing the House of Lords? And if successful in Parliament, wouldn't the Lords themselves put a stop to it? Also, would the Queen be okay with that? If Jeremy Corbyn put forward a bill in the House of Commons and it won, I don't think that there's no stopping it. So basically, the House of Lords can veto something for a year, but I think it can't veto the same thing twice. So after the year, they couldn't stop it. And what used to happen, the House of Lords had a permanent veto. They could just veto, and then you actually had to go to the King or Queen and personally convince them to sign the bill as well. So you had to convince the House of Lords, and then you had to convince the King. And I know this because I did my group project in my second year of uni on Catholic emancipation in Ireland, basically giving Catholics the chance to sit in Parliament, basically, and giving them more political representation that they didn't have before. And King, who was the king at the time? Can't be George III, surely not then. It actually might be. Let me check. It's someone like that, and they've gone like crazy, and it's got the Duke of Wellington, who's like obviously war hero in the Napoleonic Wars. He has to because he's prime minister, he has to personally convince him to sign the bill, and it's just so hard because he's so emotional. King George III. Okay, the second. No, the second is not one. The third. No, it wasn't King George III. Who comes after him then?
The 4th? Oh, it's King George the 4th was the one I'm talking about. Is the who's the Mad King? That's the 3rd, isn't it? Yeah, but basically they couldn't stop it, and I think it's a good idea because, for example, the Archbishop of Canterbury and other religious people sit in the House of Lords just because they're in positions of privilege, and basically most of the peers, even though they're cross-party peers, Labour, Lib Dems, Tories, whatever, they are pretty privileged people. A lot of them are party veterans, but it just stinks of like unelected privilege. So yeah, I hate that. Would you rather have to live in Alabama right now, I'm guessing you're saying, or the Soviet Union in the 70s, right after Stalin? I guess I'd rather live in Alabama, but that is a kind of hard choice. Just because I don't want to live in the 70s in a place that's pretty austere and doesn't have like a lot of technology. So Lee's saying, when you're younger, you can eat what you like, drink what you like, still climb into your 26 waist trousers and zip them up. Who has 26 waist trousers? I have... What do I have? Is this in inches? Let me check. I have... Let me check. I have 34-inch. Are you short, quite Lee? Because I'm not big, but my waist is 34. No, I'm 32. I'm all for keeping the House of Lords. Why are you for keeping it, Michael? Send that the federal judges. So far, they've been the only ones blocking some Tory plans to cut benefits, but they can't really do anything anyway because of the veto doesn't apply forever. Max saying, I think the UK should go ahead and ditch all that archaic shit like the Lords, this and Princess that. Maybe it's culture and the US doesn't have that stuff. Mac, it's hard because the royal family are actually pretty popular, especially the Queen. So it'd be hard to get rid of her. And all these Brexit chavs at the moment, like, love all that shit. So, you know, it'd be actually pretty hard to do. It's just like, I guess people just see it as not a fight worth fighting because it'd just be so hard to get the result you want. Michael, what do you think about this? I was on a podcast, I'll link it this week in my community tab, and he's asked me about the House of Lords, and I said, I'd prefer an elected body that operates like the House of Lords, but is dictated by proportional representation, so that way the Green Party actually have an influence in politics, rather than Tories and Labour having it locked down, I guess. And not locked down, but, you know, they are the two biggest parties. So you could have a second chamber where you have, I guess, you have to admit the Brexit party would have a bigger say as well, but where the Greens could get in a bit more and stuff like that. Maybe, but then you isolate Scotland a bit because obviously if it's proportional voting, I guess they have our own parliament, but I don't know if the House of Lords would be exclusive to England or something, but I don't know how it would really work. The King George III was mad. The 4th was the regent. Hugh Laurie and Blackadder III. Okay, the 4th was a bit of a dick as well, I think. The third, I watched a documentary of the 3rd. He hated him. How many countries have I been to? Off the top of my head, I can't say number. I've been to... The only country I've been to outside of Europe is Morocco, but I've been to Spain, Italy, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, which these don't really count, France, Austria, Germany. I've driven through Luxembourg, and Iceland. So a fair few. Not too many though. And yeah, like I'm saying, only one outside of Europe, and that's Morocco, and it was very, very different. So Jose agrees with me. I'm for getting rid of unelected positions of power like that. Yep. Easier to get rid of the monarchy with King Charles. Yeah, we got to wait until the Queen dies and then take over. The worst thing is the Senate in the US. That chamber of the branch of government single-handedly gives right wings a substantial advantage. Yeah, I don't understand why Americans think their system is the best. It's clearly like, even if it's operating properly, doesn't the Electoral College already fuck it up, especially in the present day? Like, even if you don't have this corporate, like, influence in politics and stuff. And does anyone, the British people in the chat, do you know how the Supreme Court works in England? Like, that's one thing I don't really know about. Like,
what's the term? Is there term limits, or what are the term limits? You leave Charlie alone, although given his age, he won't be king for long. Yeah, exactly. So Max saying the entire Middle America is like the same population as California. It's 2 senators versus like 30. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Charlemagne thus Otto the First. Who should be called the first Holy Roman Emperor? Didn't Charlemagne get the position invented though? Because Charlemagne went to the Pope, and he's like, crown me Roman Emperor, basically. After he went and fought the Moors in Spain. I thought that's how the position started. Was Otto like? I read about this because I got a book on it. It's about like the medieval history of Europe. Don't take the piss out of his ears unless you got a large purpose-built syringe. You mean the law lords? I'm just talking about the Supreme Court. If anyone understands it in the UK. Charles is a dick though, little adulterer, cheating on Diana, rat bag, basically. Like, I don't like Charles either. The Crown's a good show though. That's one thing the monarchy have given me that I like. The Crown. That's basically it. Defender of all faiths. What are you talking about? What are people talking about in terms? I want to know the British Supreme Court. What's it all about? Yeah, that Jacob Rees-Mogg stuff is so stupid. He wanted to be the defender of all faiths. Oh, okay. I guess that's not bad for someone who's in line to be king to say. Yeah, the Jacob Rees-Mogg stuff is a pretentious bullshit. It's not even like strictly accurate either. He's just being a little wanker. I actually hate people like that. That's the sort of people. There's two sides of who represent everything wrong in the UK. Jacob Rees-Mogg is like the super elitist side that you hate. Tommy Robinson's like the Brexit chav side you hate. Get Tommy Robinson's like sister and Jacob Rees-Mogg's brothers like make a child. That'd be the super scummy British person. God, I hate English people. Does the English people in the chat, do you agree with me? Do you hate English people for screwing us with Brexit? Why English people? God. I like saying it because I'm Irish as well. Thanks, mate. No problem. I just hate Jacob Rees-Mogg. Like, he came out of nowhere. These memes aren't even funny about him. I think they actually made him fairly popular, which is annoying. Like, British politics, as I've gotten older, I just get so depressed about it, especially at the moment. Like, watching a bunch of fucking rich people who've known each other, a lot of them, for like decades, all like switching seats in different like David Cameron, Gove and Johnson just like flying about the place. Oh my god. It's so annoying just to watch it happen. Like, can you imagine like you and your mates that you went to uni with, or maybe you've known a bit longer. You get into the highest position of power in your country, and then you just start swapping the positions. Like, you all get a nice chance at being like some sort of secretary, then the prime minister, then the foreign secretary, and you all just keep switching around. It's actually so annoying. So he looks like Harry Potter became an accountant. Yeah, exactly. So Michael saying, things about the House of Lords is once they go in, they're not so partisan. Maybe because I don't have as much power, but just the idea of it, like the Archbishop gets a seat because the Church of England is the England's religion, so he gets some automatic privilege to have a say in politics. I don't think that's a good thing. Boris promising the moon and the stick at the moment. The thing with Boris is he's not only like crazy in what he's promising, I think he actually believes it, because people have said that who worked for him, he's so bad at his job, he doesn't listen, and he's so incompetent that like it's just so hard to get him to do anything. And I actually think he believes all his rhetoric, which is even worse. Mike was saying Tony Blair had plenty of problems with Labour peers voting against him, and likewise for Thatcher. Yeah, hopefully the Labour peers were left wing, but now they're probably all like Blairites. Jose, good on you for watching it, because I didn't watch it. When he became Prime Minister, I just ignored the whole news that I was like, I'm fucked it. Because like, the thing is, I knew it was coming since he dropped out in 2016 of the leadership contest. I was like, all Brexit has been about is Boris Johnson becoming Prime Minister. And it validates him leading the campaign to destroy the country in 2016 because he got what he wanted in the end. He became Prime Minister. It's just such... Oh, my God. It's just so annoying. Like, how can you support someone like that? This country is fucking stupid. Well, the south of England is fucking stupid. I appreciate in Manchester they're all throwing stuff at him. That's what I like to see. And I love that video of all those people in Manchester who just hate Tommy Robinson as well. It's so good. So Alabama, love living in the northwest where my area only narrowly voted to leave. Oh no, I guess only narrow vote. Where I lived, massively voted Remain. The only good thing about where I live is it's white English people who are liberal, which is pretty rare in this country. Like, educated white British people being liberal. Like, but when you have a cluster of white British people, white English people, it normally doesn't go well in terms of politics. Normally, like, Tory. Although they do vote Tory or Lib Dem, the Tories they vote for aren't, like, traditional. Like, the one who was MP a couple of years ago, she, like, worked in the Gaza Strip as, like, a doctor. Do you know what I mean? Like, think of that compared to, like, the Republican Party or something. That guy's UK Trump. Or as Trump says, because he doesn't understand grammar, Britain Trump. Not even British Trump. Britain Trump. Alabama, he said the UK wrong in his first speech to Parliament. He gets everything wrong. Pompous twats. Yep. Exactly. He has to call a general because the majority in Parliament is shit. Well, it's probably like a bit of DUP. But I think if he calls general election, I think he's really over confident, because I've seen the polls lately, and since he become Prime Minister, it has gone up in the Tories' favour. But I think people would be I don't know. I feel like it'd be super dangerous for the Tories to call for an election now. I think it's the best chance Jeremy Corbyn will have at getting in. But you just got to motivate some non-voters, really. I don't know. It's just depressing at the moment. Like, if Bernie Sanders don't get a nomination, or if Trump wins again, oh my God, I'm gonna, like... I just can't stand it. Like, everything it emboldens in people. It's just horrible. Like, I'm not even American, and I'm saying this. Alright, let's see. Let's go on Kim Emerson's Twitter, see if she said anything. She said she gave me an indirect. Open zone. She's talking about open borders now. Oh God. She deletes her tweets. Is she doing this even more often now? What the hell? She deleted all her tweets apart from the last day. I think she's accelerated her bot. I've also muted her, so crazy. Imagine having such bad takes. You've got to delete all your tweets after one day. Kennedy, you missed it. Kim Irvinson actually commented on my video, and she deleted it after 5 minutes. But I got the screenshot, so I'm gonna make a video on it. Well, I said to people earlier, I've made a video on it, but I'm gonna re-record it because Veronica and Izzy gave me some info about one of the things I was talking about in my video. Basically, she said I slandered her by saying she said racist stuff about black people, saying that me calling her out for saying Elizabeth Warren would go to war with North Korea is wrong because she didn't specify ground war, and my point is basically how does it mean anything else? So it's so dumb. And then she said, congrats on your 6k subs. And that's another comment. So super snarky. It made me crack me out, that one did, though. I love getting under people's skin. And that comment just proves she did. So Veronica saying, if Bernie doesn't get in, then Trump is likely to be in again. That's what I'm worried about. Like sometimes I think, like, I know Americans and stuff. Like, I know what they're like. But how can you vote for him again? Is that how good the propaganda... Because it isn't like the propaganda so good to an extent.
But when the real world hits you, like the healthcare stuff, do you know what I mean? Like, how can that not change your mind? Like, when I understand like living in some sort of bubble, like maybe like like a lot of middle class white people voted for Trump and stuff. I can understand that to an extent, but when you're poor and white and don't have anything, and the Trump administration just hurting you even more, and then you will still vote for him again, I just can't understand that. But it's so effective brainwash. It's like in this country, it's like, you know, some of you might have watched me interview that Trump supporter. He basically had no teeth, and he's talking about privatising the NHS. Do you know what I mean? That's how effective the brainwashing is, and that's how dumb these people are. So it's just, you know, so frustrating to see. It's all about holding on to power for the rich, and that's why they're so successful at doing this stuff. Many are racist. Ian, I think if you're a Trump supporter after he's been president, you're just flat out racist. You're racist support Trump. I don't even think anyone non-racist cannot support Trump anymore. That's what I'm saying. And people always go on, but how, you know, Hispanics support Trump? They can't be racist. People can be racist and be not white. I don't think people. Like I said, I made that video about people don't understand like racism and stuff, or don't understand like it's not being like in the KKK. That's not the only way you can be racist. So it's just frustrating in all ways, really. So Veronica saying Kim has such bad takes and won't learn. It's that, I think it's the arrogance and how combative she is. Because like when people comment on my stuff, especially if I'm talking about something that's sensitive, about something I'm not, like if I'm talking about racism, and someone tells me something about racism as a non-white person, I'm going to listen to that because I'm a white person talking about racism. Do you know what I mean? But with her, it's like, how dare you slander me? I've wrote so much racially insensitive stuff, but it's slander to say that I'm like that. Michael, I tried to make my point to my parents. I was like, being non-racist isn't good enough. Being like, I got no problem with black people, I got no problem with Asians, I got no problems with Mexicans, that, or another way, I got no problem with gay people. It doesn't mean, just because you're not out there, like, using violence against these groups because you hate them, doesn't, like you're saying, passively racist, doesn't mean you can't view these groups in a certain way, believe these stereotypes about them. You can still be racist, even if you're, like, non-racist. So yeah, Bernie doesn't get Trump's likely to be elected. The US needs to pull Puerto Rico if Bernie is cheated again. Yeah, Jose, there's not enough people for that, but definitely need to pull a Puerto Rico anyway with Trump. I'd love to see that. Veronica's saying less subs often means a better channel a lot of times. Yeah, I can see that sometimes. It's like with TV shows, when sometimes the less popular it is, the better it is. Like Hakim stuff, like someone wrote the perfect comment. I don't think it's any of you guys. They said Kim's whole opinions is like good for Facebook soccer mums or something like that. I love that comment. It made me laugh so much. It's like she's no geopolitics for Facebook mums is what someone said. Oh, it's so good. I loved it so much. It's so accurate. Yeah, Veronica, exactly. My sister went to India for a couple of weeks, and she said she was like helping with orphans and stuff. She said one of the orphans she dealt with was being abused because she was pretty dark and her sister was light, but the sister didn't get abused, just she did. Lee, I don't think that's true, really. All stereotypes have at least a grain of truth in them. I mean, like the stereotype like French people are rude or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, or French people like baguettes or something. It's like, yeah, okay, maybe they are, but like a stereotype can be true because there's obviously gonna be one person in that group you're making a stereotype about who can be like that. So like you could say, I don't know, Irish people are violent or something. Do you know what I mean? Or Irish people love Guinness is like a big stereotype, or love drinking. But I'd wonder what, like, you know, the data on how many people drink comparatively to Irish people. Yeah, Kennedy, she keeps deleting her tweets, so like I'm gonna have to like screenshot them every day. She wrote something about like me and the Progressive Voice like dunking on her on YouTube, saying we're doing it for money, and Well, obviously not. You know, I made $4 off that video. I'm not making it for money. Hi, Rayleigh. Thanks for joining. Love you guys. I love everyone for supporting me as well. Gonna have to wrap it up soon though, because my brother's going to bed and I got to finish some work, so probably go to bed. Oh, nice, Eric. Entertain your cousin from London. Well, where's he from in London? I'll ask him if you're still with him, or if you know anyway. But yeah, thanks for tuning in right at the end. Rayleigh, just because you joined, Kim commented on the video, and then she deleted it. So I'm not going to read it out again. But I'm going to make a video on it for this week, so everyone can see it. But yeah, the one big thing is she congratulated me on 6K subs in a nice snarky way, which was my favourite part of it. She's going, yeah, she's going like, well, she's always been like that. Like, she's so fired up and just so out of order with people. Yeah, Lee, I guess so, but it's not really, I don't know. I don't know if it's that relevant though. Oh no, you didn't find out. I might have known it. It is a big place though. Oh, okay, Veronica, maybe not a great example. Irish people are number one in the drinking per capita. I'd think English people drink more, to be honest. As like a little observation. So I stand by all my stupid comments forever. Notice how some people have been crucified and just climbed down. I guess that's fair enough. You like Donald Trump. Eric, man, 14. Some of my cousins are 14, but I don't know what the kids are into now. Like, this generation like grew up on like Snapchat. Like, it's a bit different. Scottish people are ridiculous drinkers. English people are the worst for binge drinking. Like, our culture here is so fucked up. Like, I don't really drink anymore. I had my first drink yesterday. First time. Oh no, actually, I've drinking a couple things like lately, but not like binge drinking. Kennedy's saying Americans don't drink, we do drugs and drink. John saying it's mostly about tribalism. When people are stressed, they go tribal answer. Worldwide wealth disparity, fix that, and most problems are solved. Yeah, exactly. Well, that points to a lot of the issues. Like, blame the immigrants for, you know, don't blame the men in suits for ruining your life. Blame the lady in a burqa. Do you know what I mean? It's always that. People are just idiots. Norway had more drink-related illnesses at one point. Okay. Yeah, where does Germany rank in the drinking to? And we play with guns. Yeah, like 4th of July, you're all just shooting in the air. Oh man, this year is going so quick, because I'm just thinking I made that video on the 4th of July and it's nearly a month ago already. Fuck's sake. Be a month next week. Just can't handle how quick it's going. Oh, my COD video got 100 likes, but I just lost 3 subs from my live stream. Oh well. But yeah, it was decent. People need to do more yoga. That's why I'm late. Yeah, no problem. I probably should. All the footballers do it. Like, for their flexibility. I'm so unflexible. Like, it's actually so bad. Yeah, Lee, I think Mediterranean culture really, like, drinking's not a big deal. Like, in Spain, I used to go into shops and buy it when I was 14. And obviously, I think either you can buy it at a shop at 16 and you order it at a pub at 18. It's different laws there. But I think it's, you know, way less strict. But I think it's kind of their culture of it's a bit more healthier. It's a bit more social and like not about getting drunk as effectively as possible, and as drunk as possible. I've never been abroad. Lee, how have you never been abroad? Have you been to the other UK countries? Yeah, right. It's crazy. You can go to war, yeah, but can't buy a beer. Or, yeah, the laws like that are crazy. It's like join the army in the UK at 16. You can't buy a pack of cigarettes or you know, a drink. It's just such ridiculous logic. Never went to Europe.
Europe's pretty good. I guess you've never been. I like Northern Europe, but I go to Spain more than any other country. Yeah, Veronica, I think that's true, especially Mediterranean people. UK is such a bad relationship with it. Like the homeless people, students, people go, go football games and stuff. 21 for war. Yeah, 21 for war. Well, I don't think you can fight till you're 17, but you can sign up for the army when you're 16. My friend did. But yeah, it is messed up. And, you know, it's just it's not as predatory here in the UK. You can obviously tell because the army numbers are really falling, but it still like gives you a lot of opportunities. My friend probably benefited from going to the army, to be honest. Like I don't really want people to join the army in general, but for someone who doesn't have a lot going on, it gave him a life, which I guess is what a lot of people say about the army. But I think in America it's so much more predatory. It's like, join us, or it's super hard to get healthcare or go to college and stuff. And obviously it targets some of the poorest people in the country that are treated worse. So like in Vietnam, most of the servicemen disproportionately African American, most of the service deaths disproportionately African American as well. Yeah, that's messed up, Kennedy. So Kennedy says, I have two of my baby cousins in the armed forces now, and they're targeted at school because they live in a trailer park. Yeah, and it's like the system's designed to give you like essentially cannon fodder by keeping people poor and making the army the only opportunity. Like, for a lot of African Americans back in the day, it's literally like the only opportunity to have like a decent life, because it would give you a life, but you'd have to go serve for a country that hates you and keeps your group oppressed and stuff. Poor people as well, not just African Americans, but obviously it's disproportionately affecting African Americans. Yeah, Veronica, pre-drinks. It's so stupid. So you get as drunk as you can, drinking cheap beer, and then go to the club, try and get in without them finding out you're drunk. I'm not big on that. But I've never big on that, even at uni. Oh, Rayleigh does it too. I think the UK is worse though. Like the amount they will do before they leave, like 2 bottles of wine, or I don't know. Girls are crazy. I'm not big on wine. It's girls I knew that used to do it like that. But yeah, it is like, does it look like you're free? Oh yeah, Jose. I said at the start, so people, was 18 of you now. I'm gonna live stream hopefully the Bernie one. And I might not do the other one. I'll see. Wait, I actually typed in. I was checking out the lineups. So the Bernie one is the Bernie one's the best one. So we got Williamson, Tim Ryan, drop out already. Klobuchar, drop out. Buttigieg, drop out. Bernie Sanders, Warren, O'Rourke, Hickenlooper, Delaney, Bullock. Oh, come on. This is annoying. But I don't want to see... Who's Bullock? Oh, no. Who is Bullock? He's new, is he? Delaney, get out of here. National service. Are you joking me? Taking us back to 1965 or something. Or whatever, 1950. Hickenlooper, no. Beto O'Rourke, get out. So bad. Such a bad performance. And then 5 candidates didn't qualify, but Gravel should have qualified. So Tom Steyer, Seth Moulton, don't know who that is. Wayne Measam didn't qualify. Mike Gravel didn't qualify. The second debate is Bennett, Gillibrand, Castro, Booker, Biden, Harris, Yang, Gabbard, Inslee, Bill de Blasio. I don't think that's good for Tulsi. I think Tulsi would have done better in this first round, because you're looking at these people, they're way more passive. So you got Williamson, Ryan, Klobuchar, Buttigieg, Hickenlooper, Delaney, Bullock. But now in the second day, you got people who love to talk. So Gillibrand does not shut the fuck up. Booker loves to talk. Biden loves to talk. Harris loves to talk. Bill de Blasio loves to talk. Inslee was being a bit of like a talker, even though he didn't talk that much. But then you got Gabbard and Yang together. Obviously, they're the quieter ones. And Castro, even though he's not quiet, he's a bit of a rising star, isn't he? So I think she's kind of screwed with that, Tulsi.
Also, can we talk about how weird Tulsi supporters are? Just in general, why are all the weirdos Tulsi supporters? Yeah, no problem, Ray. I hope you enjoy the caucus party. So you guys talk about pre-gaming. I just get high before I go out, then get drunk. That sounds even worse. You should be sick. Drink at home, cheaper and safer. Yeah, I pre-game on PS4. That's the most pre-game I do. Drinking is not about getting drunk. UK drinking is not cute. Yeah, I guess it's about having a good time. UK is just like, I'm trying to get as pissed as possible really quick. Sarah saying the high school I went to has a recruiter's office. They hold events and grant a scholarship to the senior with the best grades and extra fancy stuff every year. It's so sickening how much they fetishize it all. Tell us about Gravel. Gravel? I think Gravel is how you say it, isn't it? I like him, and he savaged everyone back in 2008, but they're screwing him over with this one. But his campaign is ran by kids, like a free college kids. Pretty interesting, though. They're quite funny on Twitter. I'll be on Matt Binder's show after the first debate. Are you actually going on it, Kennedy? That'd be cool. Drunk before you go out is not international. Warren should drop out. Nah, Warren shouldn't drop out. Much more people need to drop out first. Tulsi is soon Google. Next she'll become a conservative and pretend they're like censoring her. Did they actually do that? That's crazy. I find it kind of hard to believe that they do something so public though. Yeah, Jose, Warren, we should greenify, energize the military. Sanders, how much? Not as much military. 24 hours from Tulsi. I like Tulsi, what you mean. What you just Kim and Jimmy Dore, even though I like him, he's like a better version of Kim. Kim is just the worst, but like the thing of Kim anyway, like I don't know how many of you watched that video. I did try and be fair. Like, do you not think, like, if you were watching a criticism of yourself, wouldn't you be kind of like, well, this guy did show the point I was trying to make and like gave me credit, even though I don't know. I thought I was fair. I didn't think it was like any sort of like super personal attack or anything. And I used her video. Do you know what I mean? I didn't like just make up some points that she said. I literally used her own words. I did love repeating it after I talked about the Trump drone strike stuff. Yeah, Veronica's saying students waking up in other people's beds, not knowing how they got there, drinking on you know, I've heard stories about girls getting carried because they're so drunk to people's rooms and then sleeping with someone and not remembering it. It's actually so bad. We need more military money. Warren has entered the chat. Tulsi has several actual solid policies on election security, war powers restricted on the president, and climate change. Yeah, Tulsi's okay, but I mean, like, her support is kind of weird because I think Bernie's just a better version. Lee, I would say I'm 95% sure I'm doing the Bernie one. We'll see how that one goes. I wouldn't mind doing the other one. I got football till quite late, but I'll see. It should be okay. But the thing, yeah, it looks alright actually, because Cory Booker, Biden, Harris, they are pretty drawn out though. They're quite tiring. But I guess I need some content this week, so yeah, I can do the stream and then do a post reaction on both days. Maybe I'll save that Kim Urbanson video for Saturday, I guess. Maybe. We'll see how things go. Veronica saying Kim is not knowledgeable. Comments about her gender or emotion serve no purpose to undermine the argument. Yeah, it's like anything. We don't need to, you know, you don't need to ever criticize something so surface and like not relevant. She's just not knowledgeable that much, and she's just come out of nowhere. I don't know what her specific qualifications are. Not that you need qualifications. I'm not saying that about anyone. If you just, you know, try and be a bit honest and open to learning, it's pretty good. Oh, really? That's pretty crazy. They flagged her emails as spam. Have your fare and use facts like Bernie does. Yes, thank you. Yeah, the anti-BDS vote. I saw a lot of that stuff. Bernie didn't vote on it. I don't know why. Maybe he thought it wasn't relevant because only 9 people voted against it, was it? Tulsi's a second to Bernie. Tulsi VP would get me going.
I'm just super skeptical. She was in that weird cult as well. That weird surfing cult. What's his name? Chris something. It's like some weird Harry Krishna shit. Yeah, really. You can just comment on the live stream, or you don't have to worry about it if you're not about Bernie Williams in 2020. Yeah, that's not so bad. Wait, really? She deletes videos. I didn't realize that. I know she deletes tweets and obviously deletes YouTube comments because she commented on mine. I wonder if she deleted that video. I wonder if she deleted that video I downloaded. Oh shit! Wait. Oh wait. Come on. Did she delete that video? The one I made on her. Ah, she didn't delete it. That's how arrogant she is. And then there's nothing on her community tab apart from one thing. People saying, I'll be here supporting you for both of you. Oh yeah, thanks. I appreciate you people joining. Bernie is anti-BDS in that context. So it's called boycott, diversity, sanctions and stuff, and it's big in UK unis. So it's about just boycotting Israel. That's what it is, right? If people know a bit more about it than me, I just thought it was an organisation to spread like awareness and boycott Israeli stuff to show solidarity with Palestine. So Bernie is ideologically anti-BDS, but doesn't support any legislation. Oh, okay. I think he said that on Twitter, didn't he? Riley says, I follow her and I'm okay with her, but she deletes stuff and worries actively that people come at her about it, but like that's kind of how politics go. But the thing is, right, if you're confident in your views, you don't need to go around like I haven't deleted many videos, only stuff that super doesn't line up my content anymore. But like you can go back and watch my first video still, do you know what I mean? And I don't delete my tweets either, because I stand by all of them. So it's it's weird, isn't it? Like I get people evolve, but I think she's 39 years old. Do you know what I mean? Like how much evolving are you doing still? I guess everyone can, but she set up a YouTube channel to have a voice in politics. I find it weird if you're deleting videos, deleting tweets, deleting comments. I just think she takes criticism really badly, that she just lashes out at anyone who gives it. I was trying to be constructive, she has a good platform. She seems to be like a decent person overall. But, yeah, just a little bit of constructive criticism. Veronica, there's BDS and there's a specific BDS movement, so the thing they voted on was different situation as far as I know. Chol, oh yeah, he's here. Curious Wonder, are you a Muslim? Curious Wonder, why do you say that? Jose saying everyone needs to chill and realise that there needs to be amendments to the bill that they would be forced to ultimately cast a vote. For example, Bernie's vote for the 94 crime bill. So if they put other stuff in it, you mean? Kim covered it, and I fact checked. Everyone was telling me to. People were commenting in the video that she gave a really bad take on it. What was she saying? Was she saying like something pro-Israeli or something? Yeah, Curious Wonder, why are you asking if I'm a Muslim? It's not a different situation. No, Curious Wonder, I'm probably the furthest thing from a Muslim as a white guy born in England, and all my ancestors and all my relatives are Irish, so and I'm also super anti-religion, but I have been told, I have had people being racist to me in the comments, saying I'm Muslim, saying I'm Iberian, so I'm not actually white, shit like that. So you're not alone, I don't think. I've had people saying some crap like that to me. I think it's the dark hair and eyes, possibly. So she was just very Tulsi about it, and she used a lot of facts and cited the sources. So Tulsi voted against it. That's the problem, isn't it? or did Tulsi vote for it? I don't remember the progressives who voted against it. Yeah, Lee's already had his sexual comment. So BDS versus the BDS movement, I meant. So it's like BDS in theory versus the actual thing. And like, curious wonder, no problems, no problem. If you if you if you thought I was Muslim. Oh, you considered subscribing. When did you find my channel? Like just now? Tulsi voted against the humanist report. Tulsi voted against it, and the humanist report shamed them. Okay. Good. The bill was anti-BDS. Wait. So it was good to vote for. Oh, the bill they voted for was anti-BDS, not the bill they passed. Okay, I understand. Well, the US, even like the Elizabeth Warren and Tulsi, seem to still be super supportive of the US relationship with Israel. So, oh, okay. So Kennedy says, I personally don't support boycotts, but I support BDS because of the politics of it. Yeah. Oh yeah, curious wonder. Yeah, I'm not a master's student anymore. Master's grad. I graduated in December 2018. And yeah, I generally make geopolitics videos, although not exclusively. So go on my channel quick. So yeah, I made a Call of Duty video, made one about Hitler, made one about Logan Paul, Christianity. I'd say a geopolitics is part of my channel, but also political theory, history is big ones as well. Because I'm looking for my proper geopolitics videos. I don't have tons, even though I cover international politics. So something like my video on Vietnam and my video on Iraq, and my like documentary style, or my video on Taiwan and China and stuff. So I do have international relations videos, but it's not exclusive to international relations. It's more global politics. So kind of like geopolitics. Opposite to Omar and to Lieb. Okay. They're the real progressives then. I don't think boycotts work. Yeah, I guess it's just showing some solidarity, isn't it? Eric saying, Tulsi is not my favourite, but I did hear her speak in a room of 50 people and got to chat with her briefly. She's calm as fuck and really nice, hands down. Well, that's pretty cool though. Where was that? Was that recently? Veronica saying boycott South Africa worked. Yeah, that's true. What do people think? People were saying on Twitter the Israeli stuff at the moment is going to be remembered like the South Africa stuff. I thought it was quite a good point. Michael Brooks show is good in my opinion. Yeah, Kennedy, you're the mod for the chat, aren't you? In Michael Brooks one. Eric, she's diplomatic, and BDS would be supported two-state. It'd be forcing everyone to get along, and it wouldn't happen, for what I understand. So BDS want a one-state solution. I think Chomsky wants two-state. He wants one, but he thinks two's most realistic. Yeah, curious wonder. Go for it, man. I have a WordPress blog. It's in my about page, and I have some of my essays. I only post the essays I got firsts in, but I'll go on it quickly now. I'll show you quick actually. But if you want to quote something specifically, like more academic rather than my word of mouth, so for example, well, I wrote that recently. That's not academic, but something like this. This is a history essay from my history degree, and that's a master's essay from my master's. So it's more like academic, a lot of this stuff. So go check that out if you want some actual quotes. But in terms of general stuff, you can still quote me on what I'm saying, whatever you're talking about in class. But yeah, I appreciate you checking out the channel from Reddit. It's an old comment, I think. Did I put it on the geopolitics subreddit? Yeah, my theories. I don't really. Do I have my own theories? I guess my Christianity creating modern racism. It wasn't really my own theory, but I guess I would put it together on my own.
There's some other ones as well, but yeah, go for it. I would be honoured if you talked about me in your politics class. It's Riley saying, yeah, I guess Humanist Report felt if you're progressive, you should support these things. Oh, nice. So Michael Brooks and Majority Report both wish you happy birthday. Were you 24, Kennedy? So BDS wants one state solution. Thank you very much, sir. No problem. Thank you for your comments. Curious Wonder, I appreciate it. So Eric saying, full disclosure, I roll with Bernie, but I show up wherever candidate comes through Iowa just to see what people bring to the table. Oh, nice. Veronica saying, the bill said Americans could not sign onto the BDS of Israel, nothing to do with one or two snake. Oh, okay, so it's pretty simple, straightforward. Most of the fools sharp, but they should go home. More than half the field is wasting our time. Yeah, exactly. Michael saying the bill was dumb. Someone has the right to refuse to buy a product from another country, but not Israel. Being called anti-Semite has become really poisonous. Yeah, I totally agree with that, Michael. It's been weaponized so hard. Like the fact that people openly call Jeremy Corbyn anti-Semite on like the BBC and stuff. It's fucking crazy. Do they know what anti-Semite means? Do you know what I mean? Jeremy Corbyn hates Jews or has believes negative stereotypes about a whole race of people. So Jose saying, as someone who watches multiple bread tubers, Mike has a wee bit more an emotion in his news delivery, and I like. Oh, okay. I guess he's passionate. It is probably Mike, as in the Humanist Report. Yeah. Rayleigh saying to yell shame on you. People haven't spoken about a position is fucked up. Nothing wrong with passion, but damn. Yeah, I guess it's if you don't. I was thinking if I became a politician, I would like explain every vote on my social media, like, especially if it's controversial. I'd be like, this is why I didn't vote for this. Do you know what I mean? I think politicians need to do that a bit more. Like, what's the thing all the progressives voted for apart from Omar the other week? Was it some sort of military thing or like what was it again? Some like defense thing. It was controversial. Kennedy thinks Humanist Report's okay. I'm really bad with BreadTube stuff. I'm looking at all my subscriptions and who I subscribe to. I'm just really bad with watching it. So who do I subscribe to? Well, a lot of people, but yeah, I just don't watch the stuff ever. Progressive Voice, Kate or Cat Black, Peter Coffin, Kevin Logan. I watch this, but he does live streams, so I don't really have a lot of time sometimes. The Surfs, I watch a lot of their stuff, to be fair. Moth Carver, she really a bread tuber. Kim Irvinson, I'm subscribed. Should I stay subscribed? I don't ever watch it, but maybe it'd be fun to criticise. Jimmy Dore, yeah, okay, I watch his prank calls. Yeah, so I don't really watch much of this stuff, to be honest. I'm too focused on my own channel, to be honest, a lot of the time. I personally, I unfollowed the Humanist Report because Tulsi was busy suing Google, which I'm super into. Okay. Mike was saying, well, there's passion you find in the Humanist Report and there's fake passion you get from Farage. Yeah, and all these fake grifting right wingers. Brooke saying, in this Orwellian time, you can make words mean what you want, so only Jews are Semites, and criticising Israel's murders as anti-Semitic. Yeah, exactly. It's so hard to make people see criticising the Israeli government or even the Israeli state doesn't make you anti-Semitic. Curious Wanderer. Okay, this is gonna be my last big point, and then I'm gonna leave this because I've done 2 hours now, and I need to finish some work. But so he's asked me about the Hong Kong stuff. So Curious Wanderer. Actually, I'll get it for you. I made a video about Taiwan, and I think it sums up a lot of my views on this whole issue and explains the history behind it, essentially. Because there is obviously a very big colonial legacy in everything to do with Hong Kong, Taiwan, Senkaku, places like that. So basically the Hong Kong protests at the moment, like, I totally agree with it, totally understand it. They don't want Hong Kong to get better relations with China, so they can extradite people, and just to them it pretty much shows their way of dealing with their government and stuff is might come to an end, because China obviously sees all these territories, Hong Kong, Taiwan. It's an embarrassment for them they're not part of China, because they always used to be part of China until the colonialists all took it off them. But basically, the Communist Party promised the people, it's part of their legitimacy. There's a video for you, curious wonderer. The Communist Party promised its citizens that it will reclaim Taiwan, Hong Kong, Tibet, all these places, because to them it's like, it's called the Century of Humiliation, is when the Western colonialists and Japan just carved up Chinese territory for themselves. So again, it's embarrassing for them. So they think, we want this back. The citizens in China want it back because they're whipped up into a frenzy by the Communist Party. And if they don't get these things back, it threatens the legitimacy of the Communist Party. And in terms of Taiwan, that video I just linked, basically saying, could Taiwan lead to World War III? And what will the US response be if in 20, 30 years China invade Taiwan to make it a part of the communist control and stuff? And I think the Hong Kong issue is pretty similar. But the thing with Hong Kong, they don't really have any defense partners. For example, Taiwan has the US, who sells them military equipment. Taiwan has an army. Taiwan has loose defense treaties with the US and Japan, who say they'll come to the aid if China attacks them. So it obviously, it's hard to watch an authoritarian regime do this, but you'd think that when the most powerful country in the world one day, probably in the next 30, 40 years, when it starts to do what it wants and also having so much influence over the economies of the world, is anyone really going to stand up to it? And the point of the video I make is Taiwan risking was it worth risking World War III over, because you have the whole stuff of North Korea right by it and Japan? So it's hard. Yeah, so Hong Kong and Taiwan exist sort of in a similar way, even though Hong Kong is more part of mainland China. It was obviously, part of mainland China anyway, but Taiwan is a lot more autonomous. It's just pretty much the Communist Party said to Nixon, is you recognize all of China as one China, the Republic of China and Taiwan, that's not what you recognize as China anymore, because Taiwan used to sit at the UN as China. That used to be recognized as China. The Communist China didn't get recognized, and they've changed that now. So it's why it's so controversial when Trump rang the leader of Taiwan and talked about the great relationship we're going to have with Taiwan, but you're not meant to say that, because Taiwan doesn't exist as its own country in terms of international relations. And China, if you're their ally and stuff, you have to say it's China, it's part of China. So that's the problem, really. And China's trying to build aircraft carriers, build new ships and everything. It is scary that this is going to happen. But anyway, that is the last point. Little rant there. So everyone in the chat, I will definitely try my hardest, and I think I definitely will be able to do it. I will stream the Bernie Warren debate on Tuesday night, Wednesday morning for me. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how many people join. I think last time we had about 10, 15 people. It was pretty good. If I don't get that many people going for the first one, I won't do the second one, but I will make a reaction video. Maybe I'll make 2. We'll see how it goes. Because the second one is lined up to be quite nice, actually, I'm thinking. But anyway, look out for them this week, and I will get my Kim video up this week. I might wait till Saturday just to have everyone being able to watch it and stuff. But we will see all about that. It's we'll see how this week goes. I might upload it on Thursday instead, get something out for Saturday. Yeah, thank you, Curious Wonder. I hope you subscribe. Hope you appreciate your questions and your comments and stuff. And yeah, if you want to quote anything I've written, I've got a couple essays on my WordPress blog. Got more scripted videos which I've researched, so check them out if you want. Yeah, Eric, thank you. Be well. Remember, your body and brain both need sleep. Have a great week. Yeah, everyone have a good week. I hope everyone's had a good weekend as well, and hopefully see some of you Tuesday. And hopefully I will do this also on Sunday again. Keep trying to do the Sunday ones. And thank you, Rody. That's a nice comment. yeah, my scripted ones are good. Sometimes it's not worth the effort, especially when my Call of Duty one got demonetized by review, which just kills the views and kills it in the algorithm, which really pissed me off because I thought it was going to do quite well. It did still do pretty good. But anyway, everyone have a good week, and yeah, see some of you for the debate on Tuesday, and thanks for joining me tonight.